Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, my channel's Finding Value. We're going to go over uranium, technical analysis, doing our dailies, looking at charts, looking to see what they're doing. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm seeing some selling pressure. I'm seeing other ones that don't look too bad. Honestly, this is going to be a tough call this, next couple days, trading days that is, to see where this is going. So let's dive into the charts. I'll explain what I see, and we can have fun doing it. So here we go. Again, this is just my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. And here's the physical. Let's get physical. And so this is what I'm looking for. We pulled on up, got over 50. We sold off, pulled on up. And what we're probably doing is contracting. We're probably going to sell off to here, and then we're going to come up and sell off. And we're going to create some pattern, maybe. I'm just guessing. Create some pattern that will eventually break to the upside. Or we just go and break to the upside. But it's yet to be seen. I'm waiting for that. And that's why we're looking at these charts to see what the heck's going on. Again, I'm not trading in and out. I'm just holding for the long haul. Here is North Shore Global Uranium Mining ETF. I'm going to throw a trend line in here. And it could be somewhere like that. Now, if I take this one, what it does is bring it up to here. And it could be that as well. Depending on how you draw it, will get you different results. So you draw it here. We haven't broken out yet because we're on the weekly candlestick. We're coming back down, not up. We got to close higher to have a clear breakout. And today's sell-off is keeping us under the resistance line. This is the daily. You can see the sell-off today. On the weekly close, it's leaving a little wick at the top. There's sellers up here. We keep running into those sellers, those pesky sellers. Here's CCJ. Again, we're selling off a little bit. Could this head a little bit lower? It could. We could put a little handle, we could do like a cup and a handle and then a handle. We'll see where it goes tomorrow. We could head back a little bit. It could be in the cards. And Next Gen Energy is putting in a bearish engulfing, which usually means we want to head lower on a statistical probability. There's a bearish engulfing here, and it headed lower. We could head a little bit lower. I'd like to see a higher low if we head lower than like 450. We want to come down and make a higher low. Here's Fission. This one doesn't look too bad. Hasn't sold off yet, so it looks good. Denison Mines. Man, it looks like a bearish piercing. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We got support right underneath it. Good battle of the buyers and sellers happening in Denison Mines. Sky Harbor. Man, we're like right there moving sideways. I'd like to see what tomorrow brings us. Some of these are getting really hard to read because you get the buyers and sellers, and they're basically smacking each other back and forth. And they're not necessarily creating a pattern, and it's not necessarily creating candlesticks that are one way or the other. We're just going back and forth at this resistance line. So one could conclude that we're still moving in an uptrend until we're not. But it's definitely pausing at this resistance area. Canalaska's selling off a little bit. We could come back. I'm just looking for a higher low than this low down here. Higher low is where I'm looking, somewhere in this range. If it pulls back more. Standard Uranium looks like it's just moving sideways. Buyers equaling the sellers. We're still above the trend line. I'll throw the trend line in for everybody. Your trend line's here. It's looking good. No problems. Looking at Fission 3.0, a little wick at the bottom. Doesn't look too bad. We came up, hit our head, and then came back. I'd like to see this come around and turn on up if you want to see it go higher. Looking at UEXCF, we sold off, but ended with the momentum going up on a small down day, minus 0.33%. I think it looks good. I mean, it's not selling off. The sellers aren't whopping it. So it doesn't look bad to me. Now, base low looks like we could go lower. These are two Bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing. We could head a little bit lower before moving up. We have moved a large distance in a very short period of time, and we're probably going to come back and consolidate for a little bit. Peer points looking okay. It looks like we're just grinding sideways. Wick at the bottom. Sold off, came back up. Doesn't look bad. Asian court, same thing. We're moving sideways. Nothing really to talk about there. Forum energy metals, a little bit of selling pressure here. Maybe we head back a little bit before moving up. I mean, we have a higher high, a higher high. Now we're coming back to maybe we come back to 36 cents or something. No, Jeez, so many U's. Coming on up. Man, it's like we back tested 825 today and then popped off of it. I want to see what tomorrow brings. That's a tough chart to read. It's like just going back and forth. It's like sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. We'll see what tomorrow brings us. UEC doesn't look too bad. Nice small little down day. We could head higher here. We could. And URG, I'm just looking at candlestick patterns, guys. The trend lines, we know kind of where the trend lines are. They're all about URNM, that same trend line. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at the candlesticks all in here. And I'm looking for like a bearish piercing. There's a bearish piercing here. And we've got a bullish engulfing. We're literally going back and forth between bearish and bullish candlestick chart patterns in here, where the buyers and sellers are battling it out. I don't have a clear direction right now on a lot of these stocks. It looks like they're just battling. And this guy looks really good here. Nice big up day, small down day. It's probably going to continue on an uptrend. Encore looks really good. We get the big buying pressure, small sell off. Big buying pressure, small sell off. I think we'll see a big buying pressure day at some point soon. Bannerman doesn't look too bad. Big wick at the bottom, sold off, but got bought back up. Wow, that's a tough one to say. But got bought back up. Wow. But this could, man. This is a tough one to read because you come on, you got the momentum coming back up, but you got a bearish piercing here and a bearish kind of candlestick pattern there. Let's see what tomorrow brings us, guys. I can't even tell you what's going to happen there. Bearish engulfing. I think we could head lower, sideways to lower. Just kind of continue like this. Deep yellow. Here's like your handle pattern. Ran into a bunch of sellers. We came back. There's buyers here too today. Man, let's see what tomorrow brings us. I'd like to see. We need more data here on a lot of these. Goviax. We got nice big buying pressure. A little bit of a sell-off today. I think we're probably going to just chop sideways and up. I think we're going to get the slight uptrend out of this, hopefully. Global Atomic, whenever it reaches here, it gets a lot of sellers. It's like, boom, sell off, boom. And then let's see, if we sell off, let's see if we can sell off to like 280 or higher. That'd be nice. Centrus seems like we're hitting a lot of sellers in this area. Sell off, bearish engulfing, sell off. We could see this head down a little bit. We keep getting sellers here. Peninsula Energy, looking at the charts. Man. So we sold off today. So we've got the 1-2 punch, 3 days in it, and it contracted higher, which means you're going to go lower. Sometimes you only get 1 day. And then it's kind of like, what do you do next? Sometimes if the buyers step in, sellers step in, it can go either direction here. And it's like that on a lot of them. You get a big sell-off, but it was all done in the pre-market to sell off. And then throughout the day, it didn't really go anywhere. That's why this is a small candlestick. I think it could go either way. That's a tough read. Here's Paladin Energy. This could head a little bit lower because every time we're coming up, we're hitting sellers. This is International Consolidated Uranium. Again, we got the wick at the top, bearish. We're coming higher. We're fighting against these sellers. There's a lot of sellers in here. That's why you have wicks at the top, black candlesticks, bearish, piercing, engulfing almost. So we could sideways to lower. Kazatomprom looks like it's heading a little bit lower. Maybe we had a little bit lower than this, just because the momentum closed pretty strong today on that candlestick. We've got Lotus Resources. Oof. Big buying pressure days. We had a sell-off. Man, some of these are tough because they gapped lower today, but they held their ground. Like, buyers were still buying it, and it did break like kind of this strong uptrend line going up, which makes it difficult to read. Depends. Let's. I want to see what tomorrow brings us on all these. Nice big wick at the top here. It came down. Usually it's the down day the next day, which we got. We'll see what tomorrow brings us, if we can break through 38 cents. Now, Blue Sky Uranium, bearish engulfing, and the way this thing came up, it does look like we could potentially head lower for Blue Sky. So I'm getting mixed signals on some of these. I like getting clear signals across the entire group. Some look like we could have a pullback here. How big? I don't know. It could pull back some. I'd like to make a higher low is what I'd like to do if it does pull back. But some of them, they've got bearish candlestick patterns, which usually means we want to head lower in the short term. This is just the short term. I'm not selling anything. I'm not doing anything. Valuations are too good and market conditions are still intact. So I don't do anything. I just sit on my hands and don't do anything. If you guys, let's see what happens tomorrow. Let's see what Friday brings us. We'll chart it out. We'll see what it does tomorrow. If we head lower, maybe we have a little bit of a pullback. If the buyers step in here, looks like they're fighting this. If they step in tomorrow, if you guys like the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you like the content, give me a thumbs up. And thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.